My name is Ben Park. I am a global travel and expense manager at a leading clinical research organization. I didn't grow up in the travel industry as a travel agent or working for an airline, as many other travel managers. I jumped into the travel industry 12 years ago and love the job each single day. Today, I would like to talk about a topic I'm passionate about within the travel industry. The travel agency identity crisis I'm observing since years. The pandemic has accelerated this process in my view, and we need to overcome the TMC identity crisis as an industry. I would like to take you through, number one, the TMC identity crisis before the pandemic. Second, followed by the additional challenges as a result of the pandemic. And third, closing with the need for a TMC model which works post the pandemic, and an ask to the industry and my buyer colleagues for action. So the TMC identity crisis before the pandemic. Even before COVID-19, TMCs had been in an identity crisis because their commercial model, they're transitioning into a technology company, and the current TMC models are all just good. So let's talk about the commercial model. The traditional commercial model doesn't work anymore. Most commissions have gone away since years or got less, and back-end incentives are in many cases significantly reduced. The transaction fee model doesn't allow them to gain enough revenue as the fees in correlation to the value they add for each booking doesn't verify a higher cost to cover the additional program cost. There hasn't been significant traction with other fixed cost models either to date. The services they currently provide don't correspond anymore with the transaction fee model. The second point, before COVID, technology companies becoming technology companies. It seems to me that most TMCs are still in an offline transaction mindset and focus a lot on the offline services. But in reality, the vast majority is done online. This doesn't mean offline isn't equally important, but the TMC have to realize they are first a technology company and then a people service company from a throughput perspective. They use the online booking tool software often through reseller models. And at the end, you end up with the same leading OBTs, even at different TMCs. So switching will not change the TMC experience. Many travelers believe their travel agency is actually called Concur or Citric. TMCs rely on the OBT provider for adding features, better user experience, or opening up APIs. As a result, the customer-facing technology is not a key differentiator from one legacy TMC over another. Creating a better user experience is simply not possible, and they don't have the ownership. So the last point, TMC models are just all good. So let's look at the different TMC models currently in the market and the challenges. But you might wonder what's in the background. As it's winter time, and usually this means ski season, I want to at least use my skis for something this season if it's not the slopes. So I believe there is no perfect TMC model out on the market. All have their advantages and disadvantages. So the traditional big three TMCs now, the mid-size and network TMCs, and the new TMCs on the market. The traditional TMCs, they have a long history on the market. And most of them are like good old mountain skis, which work everywhere and on every terrain. It's a one-size-fits-all model, and customization is not easily possible. They are not perfect in anything specific, but they work universal globally on all terrain. Then next are the mid-size and network TMCs. They are actually like having two different skis, but one from each pair. So they sell you the best of both worlds. The benefits of an all-mountain ski, like a mega TMC, and on the other hand, there's better speed and adaptability, like a local travel agency. Because they are as well a racing ski, which goes much faster in development and then can explore quicker, like new markets, new trends. This sounds good. While the fact sheet combined from both skis look really great, meaning in an RFP, this ski would maybe win. But if you try to ride it, you realize you have two different skis, and this might be a very bumpy ride. So last one, the new TMCs on the market. The new TMCs are often called the disruptors. I see this as like skiing on parents' budget. The coolest, newest racing ski and a cool pair of park ski ensures the most fun, and they are the most expensive on the market, and nobody can keep up with the speed of this TMC, even if you can ski really good. They have realized it's about fun, experience, gamification. They are marketing this really well, especially the park ski element. And the younger generation love hanging out with their offered technology in the fun park. The newest stuff isn't just good enough. The downside of this speed and fun element is you can only use them on the slopes or at the fun park, but not globally on all terrain. All this. They operate well in their core market, but they don't work globally. So this was before the pandemic. Now, let's talk about everything which TMCs have to take, which steps they had to take during the pandemic, because they are in survival mode. So during the pandemic, TMCs had to furlough lots of stuff, agents as well as tech people. Investments into technology had to be postponed as funding wasn't there anymore. Some projects might not ever get realized within the next 3 years. The gap to transform into a new TMC technology company with a robust platform is even larger compared to before. Especially with the very low transaction levels they see since a year, we see most TMCs trying to increase their market share or grow through mergers and acquisition. Merge to survive or raise new capital, use government support where offered, ask investors, might be actions we see more and more. This strategy is not sustainable and will break one day. The network TMCs might face gaps in their coverage and capability as local partners will exit the market, and as a result, their global footprint will shrink. Some might be true for smaller tech companies who had been supplying the TMC services. They might exit the market as well. Many TMCs try to switch their commercial model to have like a fixed cost plus model, which would work better for them now. But I haven't seen any corporate buyer moving in this direction. All the years, they didn't want to be transparent on their income streams, but now they want to change the commercial model as their system broke, but still stay untransparent about additional commercial flows. This is short-sighted and doesn't establish trust. So, what TMC model can work post the pandemic? Let's look at the future, the bright future, hopefully. If we do not help the current TMCs to fill the gap and evolve into the new TMC model needed, where they are platform providers, own the experience, control technology used, and change their commercial model, the tech companies from outside the travel industry will fill this space soon. I'm not saying the future TMC model is the all eggs in one basket model, where you outsource all to a global TMC end-to-end and rely fully on them as a partner. There will be corporations who rely less on the TMC and others more, but at the end, they always play a highly connected role in our ecosystem. If you look at the T&E services end-to-end, from virtual payments, reshopping tools, content aggregators, direct connects, on-the-trip real-time information, the AI reporting, risk management tools, you notice the TMC partner is almost involved in some way in each process at some point. There is also a risk that corporate buyers will say that they prefer an unmanaged open model with open booking, as this ensures the best user experience on leisure tools. No discussion anymore about the value from a TMC compared to the price. Therefore, if you believe, as I do, on a TMC partner, which provides you the global platform where they own and control critical core services, but are flexible enough to allow others to use an API to add services, be more transparent on their commercial model, let's guide the current TMC partners into the new direction needed. In closing, I think it's not only the right time now, but as well the last chance to rethink and redo the TMC model. This doesn't mean relying on them fully as a partner, but as a connection service partner. Going back to the skis, they are standing on the top of a black run, really icy conditions, and trying to ski with 1 foot left and an open binding, where each little chunk of ice will make them fall. Each turn they take is critical. The pandemic has shown us how important human interactions are and how important health and risk management are. A trip will not be a commoditized transaction anymore. Isn't that the role of a TMC and demonstrates we need them? Do we want to let large mega tech companies from outside the travel industry explore into corporate travel? I don't. Let's see who will fill the gap. Thank you very much for listening.